And we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. So I will give it a minute for everybody to get here. If you are new to the channel, welcome to this overstuffed house. I try to have a live sale every other week. However, I have had an awful head cold. Today really is the first day I was up and about in the house. So you're still going to hear some coughing, but at least I don't feel like I want to just like take the head off from here off, you know. I've still got all this like croupy right down here. But there's something going around one of the elementary schools, and that happens to be where my doctor's office is in that school district. And I went and got my flu shot and got, the script for blood work and a checkup and all that. By the next morning, I had this cold, and it's not COVID, was tested, but it's definitely something going around in southeastern corner of PA. But hello, Val, how are you? I was just thinking about you because I've needs to transpose over the packing list, and I was looking at it going, hey, I actually know where some of that older stuff is now. So tonight is, let me back up a little bit. I'm hoping the phone's not too far away. Sorry. There is no room downstairs to do this, and there's no decent light in Mike's room unless I rearranged part of his room. So I have, which I don't know how well he'll like that, but he's not here to know about it. He's still in California until sometime tomorrow night. Yes. Come on up. Come on up. Come say hello. Up. Oh, say hi, Elron. Oh, why are your feet wet? You've been playing in the water bowl again. Hey, down in front. Sir. Sir. Down in front. Yes, Elron? No, you got to go the back way if you're going to the window. Hey, don't knock the phone over. He is right next to the phone. Nope, there he goes. Gotta rub his head against everything, honestly. I just had that all set. There we go. You're a mess. Oh, here come Miss Arwen now. It's going to be an interesting time. So, I actually think I need to try to turn you a little more this way because the box is going to have to go over here. And can I stand you up any more than that? That might work. So, anyway, I'm upstairs here, and we have two boxes that we're going to go through together. They are not exactly the same two. One of them is. I got the first one up here. The one that said, that's the thumbnail that said careful, loose knives and stuff. So that one's here. But that second bigger one on the bottom, there was no way. I could not lift that. And there certainly was no way I was lifting it, getting it out of the playroom, down the hallway, and up all the staircase. That just wasn't going to happen. So I picked out a smaller box off the top of that really tall pile that I'm not sure what's in it. It doesn't quite feel heavy enough to be all books, considering its size, but it's certainly heavy. And I stuck my finger in under the tape, and I felt fabric. But it seems heavier than it should be if it were all fabric. So we're going to find out what's in that one. So let's see if I can see who's in the chat. I know Lorianne is still doing, I just left her live. And so how many are here? So it says 5 are watching, and I see Val is in the chat. Hi, darling. And don't you steal my pen. You are a thief of pens. And so, don't do it. These two, Elrond and Arwen. are ruining the screens in the house because they keep clawing it like bugs and stuff. Though one of them has put a hole about that big in the window in the front bathroom that leads out onto the front porch roof. They get that any bigger or get the idea to shove their head through that. I really miss the days of metal screening for your windows because they wouldn't have been able to rip that so easily. Now it's all that plastic mesh, and it's so easy for them to rip it. Little stinkers. So, I hear another one back that way. Gimli's asleep over there. He was out all afternoon, so he was quite happy to finally come in, have some food, and then went to sleep. And I look so nice and chipper because I went to sleep too. I took a nap for an hour before trial, or tried to take a nap for an hour before doing this. So, Lisa, hello, hon. So, these little farts, they knocked this where I couldn't get it. And in trying to get it out, the cord was stuck over boxes they had knocked over. It ripped the wiring right out of back here. So now I have to get a new light box. So I guess that's with the money for that little demon boy. I guess I'll have to put that towards that. Well, no, I can't because it's going towards the water bill. But they're definitely making life challenging while I was sick. And while I'm trying to recover. Stop breaking things. You hear me, you two? I know it's because these two instigate fights with their bigger brother, with Aragorn. Aragorn has no brain cell. He takes the bait, and then they get him to chase them. Hello, Miss Arwen, all through the house. And go on, go to the window. And he's so big, and he's a bull in a china shop. And so they knocked some stuff over, and it pinched. I didn't realize that the cord for that was really wedged in between parts of an 1800s platform rocker. And then it had another box on it. And I couldn't see that. And so when I pulled a little harder, cord ripped right out. It's like, darn it. So that's definitely going to slow me down. But so is this cold. So, you take what you got and you work with it. So I did, since I kind of was coherent yesterday, I did redo a little bit of what's usually the blurbs that are in the descriptions for the videos, for the lives. I haven't included them in a long time, but there are 2 Amazon wish lists, one for helping with things for the cats and then one for helping for this overstuffed house. And I decided to go ahead and put them back up. Do not in any way feel obligated to. I am blessed and grateful whenever anybody buys anything off that list, but it's not an obligation. It is not an obligation. It's just out there. Just like the buy me a tea or super chats. And I have them and they're just out there. So I don't often mention them, but I just wanted to let everybody know that those are options. I did a thing for my birthday. The one buy me a tea wish list was to get money for the to fix the hole out in the hallway there. So I have an N95 mask now, which somebody's husband is retired and they gave me that for free. And then when Mike gets back from California, then we'll go buy. I need to not tilt forward like that. We need to go buy the drywall. And so I've already picked up some spackling compound and stuff. So now the only thing I need to do is find a drill because we don't have a good power drill. We have a little one that Mike can't find the charger for, but it's not that strong. So That's the next on the bucket list. Get that done. Because we need a drill to fix things like put drywall up and build an outdoor cat shelter out of scrap lumber. Either that or try to buy one. Because the possible family for Tux, the husband said no. So Tux is still here and still trying to open up my doors to get into the house. He can pull the storm door on the kitchen right open because that's lightweight 1930s door. And he tries. So I really think that if he gets into the house, we're not getting him out. So Mike started it and I did it yesterday and I did it this morning. I opened up the kitchen window, a tree limb had hit it, and it just put this great big gash in the screen. So we took the screen off. So I've been opening up the bottom of the window just like about an inch so they can all sniff each other. And Frodo and Gimli are fine with Tux. Aragorn's finally, getting there. He's not. He wants to play. He doesn't want to fight. He wants to play. Well, today is the first time that Arwen has realized that Tux sits in the window and watches when I feed them. And she flew at that window and threw herself against the glass. And he just kind of put his head back like, whoa. But he knows they can't get through the glass. So they were sniffing at each other. And Elrond just kept growling at him. Yeah, it gets all nice and puffy a little bit. I always used to have to get a perm because my hair is so fine. And just kind of like sticks to the top of my head. But if I lay down and take a nap, then, I get all this nice puffy. It's good. I like when there's some puff to it. So let me get the boxes around here. Ugh. Ha ha ha. This will be fun. Maybe. Frodo! Frodo, my love. These. Tell you what. Here. Daddy put his boots up here where you usually lay down to sleep. Tell you what. Here. Frodo. Hey, baby. Hi. Why don't you come up here? Here you go. Here you go, baby. Here's your spot. You go right there. Okay. Ugh. Okay. This is the little one. Keep moving. Dude. Hey, yay. Elrond. Out from under feet. Okay. Let's get the bigger one. Okay. Yes, I am being careful. So this is the one. This is the one that's in the thumbnail. Careful, loose knives and stuff. And the box says it was from Delaware Art Museum. Why did my phone just go ding? I don't know why my phone went ding. All right. I want my coffee. Gary very kindly went to Wawa and got me mocha mint iced coffee. This chair is a little low. I think you guys are a little too far. No. Arwen, honey. Say hello to the nice people. But no, this is definitely not for kitties. No, you can't lay down there, honey. Move over. Oh, now they all have to come investigate. Oh, here comes Gimli's awake now. Frodo's behind me cleaning himself. He don't care. Aragorn, go to the window with your brother. Go on. Go to the window with Elrond. Oh, dear. I don't want to have to put you guys out in the house. Go on. Go to the window. That's why the window is open. Look at this. Do you see this? Hi, Gimli. Arwen. Arwen, we need that box. We don't know what it is. We're doing treasure boxes tonight. And they don't include kitties, because I can't send you through the mail. That would not be nice. And at this point, after 2 years being here with your brothers, you're kind of family. Yep, the whole gang tonight. So can you get off the box, baby? Gently off the box. Go off the box. That way. Aragorn, go that way. No. You're back on the box. You know what? This chair is way too flippin' low. So why don't we steal pillows off the bed? There we go. Maybe that'll work better. Well, that's better. That gets me a little more height. To go through, huh? To go through, I think that says short knives on the side. They're not helping. They're really not helping. Gimli, can you get off the box that I want? Thank you. So, let's see what's here. Oh, wow. This is Capital Airlines. How old are you? Those graphics looks like something right out of Mad Men, 1950s. Yep. July 26, 1955. Tinkering with turbines from Capital Airlines. And this is the air you breathe on PSA Electrojets. So these two things have to be from Aunt June, because she was an airline stewardess for years. And so there's stuff floating around here for a lot from early American Airlines stuff. And then some from different other ones. Come on, keep going. I know you want to smell everything. So let's see. Oh, and today's bling brought to you by Odd Stuff Nancy found. Needs a cleaning though. It doesn't have a huge amount of sparkle, and it should. It doesn't have a maker's name on it, but everything is prong set. What I can't tell is if it's, I don't think it's good crystals. I think it's the kind of rhinestones that have that backing on it. But I can't really tell without undoing prongs and getting to one. But and it's got a neat little clasp. But found that in a bag that was just, the outer bag was all dusty, and here in it was all these random odd bits of jewelry. And one of them I recognize, this orange piece, and I forget the name that's on that one. But it's missing some of the little seed pearls. And I used to have the necklace. Mom gave me the necklace a long time ago as a kid, but I never liked to wear it because I don't like wearing orange. I don't like orange, and I don't like wearing red. So they both give my skin tone, that and any of the light greens give my skin tone really weird flush of color and makes me look sick. So especially the greens. So I don't know if I still have the necklace. But anyway, this just says Montine of Switzerland and is empty. So no telling what that had been. Who came in? Lenny's moose got loose. Hello. Nora, she's here. Yes, we had the whole gang of all the kitty butt. Now you just have a Frodo. Everybody else, oh no, Gimli went back to sleep over there. The other 3 left. I'll take it. They're out of the way then. So, hello, Maria. So there are some books in this one. Oh, this should be down in the, with the other ones in the cellarway. So we're going to sit that on the little table over there. Let's see. Space Facts. If anyone's interested in Space Facts, just let me know. Because that will definitely be going. Oh, what a pity. It's got damage in the back. Rosemary Wells. Always did like her books. Don't come across them very often. This one's from 1992 and is a first edition called The Island Light Voyage to the Bunny Planet is the name of the series. But that one's damaged. So that's another one definitely going to be going. What is this? What's this? Oh, look. Over the years, it's probably sealed it. Yeah. Delta Airline envelope. Oh. Is there anything in here? That's not my handwriting. It's not my mother's handwriting. Oh my goodness. I will bet this is from when Mike got his first checkbook. It's only got 4 things in it, but it's Dick's Sporting Goods, Pizza Hut, and PennDOT. And it says deposit from Steam store. Now, Steam is a website, I believe, that you can sell Magic the Gathering cards on. Hello, Warren. Oh, Warren, you're interested in Space Facts? Okay. Oh, another random piece. Okay, I'll just say Monopoly money, right? It's Monopoly money that says copyright 1935. I have the box, and I have a lot of the pieces, but for some reason the money has been scattered throughout several things. All right, I have a pen, and what is this? Oh, this is a shop in the Brandywine Valley, and it shows you with all the different museums. Those are not necessarily the hours anymore, but I have to hang on to that. That might be good for day trips for Boy Scouts. Delta would be good for ephemera. Okay, come here, you. Piece of paper. So, Warren, you got in there first about Space Facts. I mean, it's just a little bitty thing. It's in good shape, but it is one of those DK books, which those things are fabulous for the DK publishing for the artwork. This is the, oh, they lie. It says First American Edition, 1995, but then the number line underneath that says that this is printing number 12. But it's oh, even got little star charts. So Warren, you get first dibs. You got in there first. Would you want that for $3? You just let me know. And we'll sit that aside. Let me see. Is this? This was. What is that? It's something I probably bought. Oh. Oh, but it's only the first 2. There should be another one. So, okay, Warren, you got it. sit that over there. This is only 1 and 2, and I'm pretty sure there should be at least, I think, 5 of these. So it's a woman in an organ, and then this one they've superimposed onto the image. It looks like one of Dore's illustrations of all the angels, but it's a hymn called "The Lost Chord," written by Arthur Sullivan, and it was hugely popular hymn in the late 1800s. And there are different varieties of postcards that have illustrated the hymn and the lyrics to the hymn, which was a poem that wasn't really that well known before he wrote it. And it's just, some of the postcards are really, really nicely done. And then there's other ones that are almost comical in what images they choose to try to superimpose, because it's about feeling grief and then hearing that lost chord on the organ that suddenly is so pure that it gives you hope. And so that's the gist of that one. Oh, okay. This is one of mine. You get in there loose. I collect vintage snowmen, and that's a vintage Christmas card. So that's one of mine. Toko is one of mine. And look, you see the little corners? That's from these brats. That's from these little brats when they were in the playroom. Because Toko is a Japanese little book. I kind of like the artwork, but it's a little story of a cat. So Toko will definitely be staying. Oh, some of these are postcards. What have we got here? Oh, I know what some of these are from. So this is The Princes in the Tower. This is the slave market? Babylonian marriage market. So there had been an exhibition at the art museum that was all this great Victorian artwork. And that's what those two were from. These are ones from Monticello, which somebody sent me. This is a more recent one. These are basically ones I would use with Scouts. Where I can sit you with Lost Chord, because these I have to do some homework on. These are these Manzers, or are these Kloppen, whatever his name is? No, these are Geider. So Geider, Gyder, or is that Ger? I can't tell because it's really weird little font that he did. But he did these early postcards, and the backgrounds are always really good ones of flowers, but the backgrounds are always black. So they're really, really cool looking. So I have a little grouping of those, but then I know I have this one because I know I wanted to keep that one. And what do you think you're doing? These two look like these are two more of his. Yes, they are. And then what are these two? So there's two sepia ones from St. Paul's Cathedral in Pittsburgh and Heinz Memorial Chapel in Pittsburgh. And they each show the Webster Hall Hotel in the top corner. I don't know why. I don't know why. See, I think that one's a beautiful one for spring because I like the showy daffodils. And I like primrose. So, you go behave and lay down? Don't chew the box. You're not Elrond, for crying out loud. Actually, let's put Snowman over there with that. Oh, an Upton Sinclair book. I like his stuff. He actually has a local connection because he had lived in Arden, Delaware for a time, and a friend who lived there told me about how the story of how Upton Sinclair got in trouble because he was caught. He liked to get a little too friendly with people's wives, and that she was in her 90s and she could remember one friend's husband chasing Upton Sinclair through the woods naked because he came home and found him with his wife. So he got his shotgun and was chasing him through the Arden woods. That was an interesting surprise. So this is A Child World by James Whitcomb Riley. So that's one of my collection. It's one of those ones they call a rough cut, where they never trimmed the edges. Like they trimmed the top, they gilded the top, kind of trimmed the bottom, but they never trimmed the outer edge. This is an older one. Usually what happens with those is that these are ones where you would have been expected to cut them yourself, to cut the pages. So they don't always ended up with a nice clean cut. This one's from 1896. I like James Whitcomb Riley stuff, so I know that's one of the ones from my own collection. This is one from my cousin. This is a British one. You see these little ladybirds? Those are British. And this is Dick Whittington and his cat. Now, let's see. We have a year 1966 printed in England. And it's got the whole little poem of Dick Whittington and his cat. So if anyone's interested in Dick Whittington, you can let me know. The images are great. There's a little ding back here, but there's Dick Whittington. So that's definitely going to be up for bid. Oh, this is a favorite book. This is such a sweet little book. I don't know if this was, I don't think this was ever reprinted. This is one of those things where inside it says additional copies may be obtained by your bookseller or from the author, and it gives his address. It's Bobo, a story about a little girl and a very old rabbit. I love this. This is a nice surprise to find that. So that's a keeper. A Little Princess? No, Secret Garden. Oh, this is the Tasha Tudor one. Ooh. I will have to look this one up. Somebody did an inscription, but it's not signed by Tasha Tudor. Because in that book collection, she had collected a lot of Tasha Tudor, and there was quite a few signed things. But this is a good, clean copy, too. The last copyright listed says 1962. The inscription, though, is dated 1994. So, looks like it's got some slight foxing, which is those little tiny pale tan or sand color little dots. A little dust there, too. But the outer edges all look good. So that will also be, I'll have to see what that one should be because that's a Tasha Tudor. An Alice in Wonderland pop-up. How cool. How very cool. That is so cool. I didn't know I had that one. That's from the Alice collection. That's definitely from the Alice collection. Now what do we got here? What? Proud Earth Muddy Waters, Ceramic Jar, Pottery Creek. I have no idea what any of that means. Oh, is this the summer camp water? actually had a stamp on it and everything. So this is the infamous summer camp letter. Michael says if he ever found it, he was going to burn it. So I'm glad we found it and he's not here. So the very first year he was a scout, he was 10 and a half. We joined that February. Most kids don't cross over until March. So for about 3 weeks, we were there without other kids or patrol to put him in. And so then when the other ones came, that was patrol he went in. And I had told him I wanted him to try Boy Scouts. Cub Scouts didn't work out, but I want you to try Boy Scouts. It's a totally different program. Give it 1 year and 1 summer camp. And then if you still don't like it, you can leave. I'm not leaving again. Then you can leave. Go ahead, hop up there. I know you can make that leap. So that first summer, he went to Camp Rodney, which is along the Chesapeake Bay. That's where we're going next year. This kid is now 30. He has waited since he was 10 and a half to next summer to get me down there. Because the troop would always there's one assistant scoutmaster that just, it's always full of bugs. And it always kind of put everybody off. And so we've not been back, all because he's always saying that he didn't have a good time. Doesn't matter if we adults had a good time or not. What matters is, do the kids have a good time? Do they have a good program for the kids? We're not there for us. We're there for them. So we're finally going back. But this is where he was. And this is the short little letter because he was so homesick. And the scoutmaster we had at the time used to say, well, tell you what, why don't you write a letter home? Tell her what you think, and I'll mail it. Well, it didn't get mailed, but it got handed to me. Dear Nancy, please get me out of here. Camp is horrible. I'm real hate it. It's really, really bad. Please, this is the worst place on earth. Please, please, please. P.S. I mean it. Love, Michael. Now, the reason he hated it is because they get down there on a Sunday. Sunday night wasn't so bad. However, because you got to fold this way. However, they woke up to rain on Monday. It rained all through Monday, all through Monday night, all through Tuesday, and a little bit in the morning of Wednesday. It's like that song, Hello Mother, Hello Father. Camp is not a good experience if your first 3 days of it, for your very first time ever going, is nothing but rain. And so he'd never been camping. He'd not been camping without me. He went camping with his dad too, but he always had an adult with him. So he hated it. He hated it. There's a second letter somewhere that's even longer that talks about the bugs and their mud, and the mud stinks. Because there's 2 of them. That's the first one. And apparently that was the one written at lunch. And then there's one that was written after dinner that day. And it's more detailed. But he stayed because they pointed out to him, it's like, how's she going to come get you? So he stayed the week. And then, by Thursday it wasn't so bad. The sun had come out and they could play and go swimming. And so he did have a rough few days. So that's the first of the 2. The second one, I know I have that in a little lockbox. And the second one, though, that he wrote at dinner time is just so funny because it's all about how the mud, and that's, of course, from all the rain, and the bugs, which the problem there is that he let there be a spider and he's out the door, when he still doesn't like bugs. So So it's fun to have found the first one. I can go add that to the lockbox. So now I have both of them. But yeah, now what's he do? He works for council and he's head of the lead scoutmaster for the troop. So I don't think I think he got over that not wanting to stick around in scouts. Nose is running. All right, what do we got? Oh my goodness. That's my giant umbrella that I bought in England. Which I don't think we even still have it. This is Michael. Look at that tiny little kid under that giant umbrella. I wanted a good English umbrella, and that thing lasted for years and years and years. So he's out front with it. He must be only about 2. That had to be maybe in the spring. Because we got him, and it was Sunday before Christmas. Middle winter. Oh, let's see. Nancy's Thanksgiving decorations. Old paper. I have no idea, guys. I have no idea. It's okay, so it's in plastic. Oh, it's an old honeycomb piece. Oh, I must have bought this somewhere. And in pencil, it says $12. Honestly, these things wouldn't be $12 now. They're so incredibly hard to find. So it turns out I do have something. I do have some Thanksgiving because I have this now, and I had bought last year. It was last year. I found a matching set in a Goodwill in Delaware, and they had it. This was before they started like really jacking all the prices up, so it had to be more than last year. But they had the salt, the pepper. They had candlesticks, a pair of candlestick holders. There was something else with it because there's like 5 or so. Oh, they had a napkin holder. They all match. So I have them, and now I have this. How cool, how cool. The Mercer Mile, Doylestown, Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Mercer Tiles is up that way. So I'm guessing this is going to have some good bit about Mercer Tiles. Mercer Tiles did a lot of the tiling work for the Moravian pottery is up there, and they did all the tile work for stuff that's on these houses and in the houses in Rose Valley and some in do they have any Rose Valley houses in these pictures? Because that would explain why I got this. I'm hanging on to it. Oh, look. Oh, somebody bought this in 1975. Certainly not me. I wouldn't have even been 10 yet. Not until that October. So I'll have to hang on to that and take a look at it because that might be something for the Rose Valley Historical Society. Which I actually have to get over there this coming weekend. I found a few more tiles in the basement that go to the stuff that I had given them out of the basement, which came from a house in Rose Valley. And so they are so thrilled to have those tile settings because one is a Thunderbird, one is the Rose Valley Tudor Rose. The other one, I don't even remember what it is, but they were so happy to have all that. Well, does anybody like model railroading? How to wire your model railroad. How old? This one does not. This one looks older than the others. Okay, so this one's from 1959. It looks like that cover needs some cleaning. And then when's this one? This one is 1977. This one's 1979. So those are not sitting you on top of that. So that's Model Railroad. This is Wargamers Digest. One of the things I had to learn about was all these little miniature soldiers. Some of them plastic, some of them were lead. Because there were a lot of them at the one house. Okay, Army and American Woodland Indians, Osprey Men at Arms. If anybody ever needs to learn about a particular, what the uniforms were or clothing were for any particular military campaign or war throughout history, Osprey Men at Arms series is the one you want, because we have some because Mom would pick them up as she had done some work for reenactors, and so she needed to have details of particular periods, so that, like, I know we should have one around here somewhere for the Civil War, because she had to make one of each side's outfit for this one gentleman. She got pretty known through word of mouth for that. This is going to wait. This is going to wait to go into the Christmas sale. It is a Mary Engelbreit. I used to have a subscription to the magazine, and I did take out the dolls, the paper dolls. But this would be so sweet framed at Christmas. It's Anna Stell's sister Lila. Never seen Lila spelled with an H before. Look at how adorable that is. That's so cute. But it is Paper Doll by Mary Engelbreit. So this is going to get set on that corner of the table, because that's going to go in with the Christmas stuff. Ah, okay. So these are things of why I need to. That's a rum cake. We're hang on to that. That should be in the kitchen. So this is a really cool garden gate, and it's even got a vine with leaves on it. But it's all the instructions that I would need to build it. So even if I can't make the metal leaves, I like the design of that gate. This is the kind of stuff that, and the house ate it, because, well, Michael put it away somewhere. We have this great big thick binder. I did a video about it a long time ago, and he put it away somewhere. Well, he's not found it. I don't know where the hell away was for him. But this kind of stuff would go into the part of the binder that was about the yard outside, because I'd like to get the house, at least the back part of the property, fenced in again. So we need nice looking gates. And this would go into that binder so that it was all in one place. This one, I don't know what this one is. Advent purses? I know why this is. Okay. I held on to this for that ad, because it's for vintage chandeliers and parts, and I have a 1920 chandelier in the basement I need parts for. That's a recipe. That needs to be in the kitchen. That'll get sorted out. Early American Life magazine. Oh, okay. How to safely preserve bricks. Keep this. Another thing that's for the house. So you know what? The whole point of having these is to also try to put the recipe up there, because there's a file folder in the kitchen just for that. That's for the house. That's for the house. One thing of why sometimes it takes me ha 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 ha. Hang on, foot cramp. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, ow, no. Ah, I'm twisting too much. Betting that's it. I'm twisting too much. My toes want to do this. And it hurts. Huh. These are nice size mailing envelopes. And they're empty. Does this one open? Ah! Okay, you come on, calm down. Darn it. Oh, man, that's a bugger. Yes, Arwen. Oh, my God, I had to wreck this one. I can't use it to ship. It says preparation for childbirth program. I'm going to use that to put this stuff for the house thing in. That way it's protected and I can keep it all together. Oh, look. Mom's bits and pieces. Metal zippers. Honestly, the woman never threw out a metal zipper. And now I completely understand why, because you can't find them again. Judging from the length, these were for upholstery. That these were probably zippers for upholstery cushions. So, hanging on to those, because, yeah, can't get them anymore. And they're very helpful. What are you? Model houses for little... What? Where's your thing here? Oh! Oh my goodness, it's a Will Price book. Oh. This is going to have pictures of Arden and Rose Valley in it. Model Houses for Little Money by William L. Price. Yeah, see, Nora, it doesn't tend to happen to me when I'm sleeping. It'll happen to me if I twist the wrong way, or if I do a lot of, like, I'm tilted forward too much, because there is a compressed disc back there. That's a definite problem. Let's see. A house for $1,000? Yeah, back in the day. Let's see if I can find a house that I actually know. No, not that one. Suburban house. Yeah, the suburbs to him were Arden and were Rose Valley. Ah, stop! Oh, crap. Well, it's even got blueprints in it. This is so cool. I am definitely going to have to read this before I would probably give it to Rose Valley, because Will Price and Frank Stevens got together and founded Arden, Delaware as an arts and crafts community. But they had a little falling out because they really wanted to make it an arts and crafts community, and it was all the way up through World War II. Even managed to survive through the Depression, and but Will Price, really, according to Will Price's she'd be his great grandniece. She has a lot of the family papers. He basically wanted a place for his drinking buddies to hang out. So yeah. So then he came up and got the area around outside of Media, PA, and created Rose Valley. And you're not cooperating with me, Littlefoot. And so, and it was great because there was a rail line from Philadelphia right out to Moylan. So it was great so that they could all just come hang out. Darn, I don't see any. Okay, this is, I know, a picture in Arden. So, a unique tent and cabin costing from $200 to $300. This is literally how they started Arden. Ray Gerstein had told me that when her husband first brought her there, in, was it 1918? It was he wanted her to come live in a tent. She was not having it. She said, no, there has to be running water or I'm not coming down. She said, and then he convinced her that the tent was only until they get the until they get the house built. So he moved the tent to where they could sink a pipe and get fresh spring water up. And so, but it was a pump at the end of the kitchen. The tub for the kitchen, the sink, was really just a tub, a galvanized tub, and she had to pump the water. And if it was really cold, she often would have to, like, any water that was in the tub overnight would be frozen. It was so it it was an experience. It was definitely an experience. That's how I know that picture's probably. Oh, it got creased up. I loved Famous Monsters magazine, though they were made out of rag paper. So by the time they got through, Steve used to buy them. He was the oldest. He would read them. David would read them. Phyllis didn't. Gary did, then Roy did, and then they'd finally get to me. So they were usually in pieces by the time they got to me. But I do still have this. Son of Famous Monsters. But it's gotten messed up in the box a little bit. Who remembers Ming the Merciless? I remember seeing them. My mother saw the original Buster Crabbe Flash Gordons in the movie theaters. And then I had gotten to see the whole thing of Buster Crabbe serials that they did. Because he did Flash Gordon, and wasn't he the same actor for a different one? Didn't he do another one that was besides Flash Gordon? But anyway, the one local PBS from New Jersey had a fantastic show called Matinee at the Bijou. And I have looked, and nobody's ever released any of that onto YouTube, because they would have, just like you were going to the Bijou on a Saturday, because you would get a newsreel, you would get one or two cartoons, which is how I got to see a lot of the black and white, really early Popeye and Betty Boop cartoons, was because of this show. I've seen all of the Perils of Pauline because of this show. All the Flash Gordons. Buck Rogers, that was the other one I saw, Buck Rogers. I remember seeing some Western ones, Hopalong Cassidy, I think, that were a serial kind of thing. And then there'd be the main movie. So I got to see some really cool early silent movies and some really, really, really early other, once talkies came in. So I had quite an interesting movie background. Let's see. Louis Armstrong cassette tape. Yes, I still have some cassettes. I don't know if my cassette player still works. The CD part stopped working, but I'm pretty sure the cassette still worked. But somehow the power cord and the boom box are separate now. So, morrissociety.org. Okay, so in other words, that's something to look out and find out what on earth that is. Well, we're getting down to some odd bits of stuff. And the knives. Junior League of Greensboro, North Carolina cookbook. Out of our league. Gotten a little wonky from being improperly packed. At least this is still in. A lot of times these plastic spines are all busted up. So we got that one. And what is this? That's some kind of, that's computer stuff. Or a phone jack. I think that's phone jack. Huh. Might want to hang on to that. I might need that if we find a phone. What are you doing in the box? What are you doing in the box, Aragorn? Actually, you know what? Put that up there. Hey, get out of the box, sir. Yeah, that's you. Get out of the box. Get out of the box. Go. No, don't lay down. Out of the box. Get one leg up. There you go. Out of the box. Okay. Now this is old because it says Valley Forge Council. Delmont Lodge. Now it's called Unami Lodge. Delmont Scout Reservation. These are from 1979. Resica Falls Council. Valley Forge Council, Resica Falls, 1970. So there's some old scout patches hiding in here. I'll show them the mic. We'll get them into the big box. Lots of itty bitties. Oh, I wondered where this went. I need to repair this. So this, there we go. So it's a silver wire. It just says mother, but there's a locket. Now the locket is in a box that says sterling silver, but the locket is supposed to have, if she would cooperate, a little tiny gold Statue of Liberty. It says New York on the bottom. Now that is supposed to be glued on top of this mother of pearl. This was probably, see inside it's a locket. This may have been bought on Mom and Dad's honeymoon for Granny. But if it popped apart, then it never got given to her. I will put that over on the desk and see about repairing that. What is this? Music from the motion picture Practical Magic. I love that movie. Oh, look. Oh, it's got, oh, who stapled it to it? So there's one old dried up feeling leather one, but it's stapled to the back of this. The original card, they're all still there. These are plastic with a, can you kind of see the flower design to them? That's very cool. It's not so cool that somebody stapled another one to the back. Maybe I can flatten that out. Ow! Hello. Oh, that's horn handle. So, it's a fork. A little horn handle. So we're getting down to finding the knives. What is this? This is a matchbox or a Sambron jacklift from who? Matchbox. Oh, you look in good shape too. Got a little fuzzies on him, but we'll find out the year of that. There's a lot of old Matchbox. House with 4 boys in it. Another patch. Oh, yeah. This elastic is crumbling in my hand. So let's just drop that in the trash. Oh, okay. I had some of these. So my friend Leslie, I call her Mom Aunt June. Her plan for her retirement was to make her own jewelry. And this one is sadly fragile. So for a while they lived in Iran in the 70s when it was the Shah of Iran was still in control. And you cannot sell anything on eBay that's from Iran. You can't even say anything's from Persia. Yet I see these things, but I got dinged for them. Now this one, you can see where there's some paint loss in the center, but she bought a lot of these things, and then now they would be wrapped in this little thin silver wire, but then she would make these cool necklaces, and it's black onyx, and then these are, I think, carnelian, and then she would make earrings to match. And this was her retirement plan, that, you know, she would make jewelry. She made everything clip. The problem came in that she got cancer, and she had so much jewelry. At one point, we opened up the closet in the spare bedroom, and it literally was floor to ceiling boxes like this. Jewelry boxes. Some things had 2 or 3 crammed into it. So this one I'll have to see what I can do. I will probably have to take the pendant off, because there is no way I can reproduce whatever painting would have been on there that's missing. But it's still a really nice black onyx piece. And it wouldn't be hard to get a jeweler to just take that off of, what the heck? Gotcha. I've been having problems with those blasted fabric moths, and I just squished one. It landed on the mattress, on the sheet, so I got him. But it's not hard to get those kind of earrings switched. If I knew where my stuff was, I could do it myself. But I have no idea. Okay, let's take the jewelry. Get the jewelry there, because I don't want to put that back in the box. So, oh wow. Hey, what the hell? Why? I mean, what size cake are you icing with this thing? Be good for the zombie apocalypse, though. Oh, there is an edge on this. Frederick Herder. ABR.SOHN. Sollenben, Germany. Got a little rust, needs a little care. Oh, check out the handle. Look, can you see it? Look. Instead of just round rivets, there's a fancy one in there. So these, I don't know where these came out of. I think these came out of the house in Norwood. Gustav Emmelern, same town, made in Germany. You know these are good steel. And still has an edge. Where are the cats? Asleep. He's still awake, but he's right underneath the box edge. Now this one. This one says Trident. Yep. And so this one still has the label. Yeah, I thought it was to spread frosting too, but I've never seen one to spread frosting that's been sharpened like a knife. I could cut something right now with these edges. These guys are sharp. And look at this weird one. You see the edge? Why does it? And then it's serrated in between each. So I don't know why it's so thin, but it's all serrated. Like it's serrated in between. And then you get to one of these little flat spots. And these flat spots is just a sharp edge blade. And then there's more serrated. And there's another flat spot that's just a sharp edge. I'm going to have to do some looking up of these suckers. Well, that's dried out. Oh, wow. Ready to do Mrs. Lovett's meat pies? This is a cleaver. They tried to wrap it in paper. Or no, that's a piece of cardboard. L.C. Germain. Was this ever used? There's not even a single nick in this blade. I mean, two of the other ones you can kind of see a little bit, but this, remember, I teach wood carving to Boy Scouts. I know when I'm looking at a good edge, and I'm not, oh, wait, there's one. There's one little ding. So what, it got used once, maybe twice? Fine stainless steel, lifetime cutlery, Japan. Well, there's another place that makes fabulous, fabulous kitchen knives and stuff. Is Japan. You get some real fantastic stuff from them. So even though this bag is dirty and dusty, it's going right back into that bag. We're going to be really super careful with these. Put them away from where the cats would be if they come back. Oh, cabochons. Oh, yeah, it's just an awful big bread knife. But yeah, I mean, so most of these just look like little cabochons. Now, this one is definitely cold. It's a stone of some kind. I'm not so sure about, oh no, it's, so this one is perfectly, it's been cut to be flat. But it's this nice blue. I know there were some bracelets that were made because Aunt June used to buy up all these kind of semi-precious stones and things she could make pendants out of. There were a lot of brooches from when they lived in Scotland that she made into pendants on necklaces. Another scalp patch. Oh, hello. Mongoose, huh? You're not in as perfect condition, but you're a Hot Wheels from 1977. So, oh, and you open up. So there were things like that where it was just the odd bits of pieces to make things. Now, I also have this kind of stuff from the 1930s and 20s from my great aunts. Odd bits of, oh look, it's the other buttons that go with it's the other leather ones that go on the back here. Put that together. What are you? You're another Delmont. You over there. Okay. Oh, wait till you see this. So this is another one of her pieces, right? So I'm not sure what the stones are. So, and it's kind of short. It does have a clasp, but look at this enamel work. Look at this beautiful butterfly. Needs a little cleaning. Yeah, because the silver is all tarnished. There was a lot of odd little enamel pieces that were from Iran. That's going to be fabulous. It needs to be cleaned up and it needs to have a little soldering done because there's a little break right here. This is not attached to the body. So I would need to solder that to make sure it stays in place and doesn't break off. That is just beautiful. Beads are all dusty though too. Wow. Oh, hey, it's one of those old sharpeners. You always see it in the movies where they're like, doing the edge of it has all these fine little lines that go this way, and it's to sharpen, but I don't think it sticks in the handle as well as it should. There's not even any way. Look, there's no hole or anything. It's just in there. That is incredibly old. Oh, it's hard to tell, but this is actually metal, this piece. Wow. What do you think? 1800s? Darn, that's an old piece. Is that the last of the knives so I can safely stick my hand in here? Oh, I love proclaimers. Sunshine on left. I was wondering where that was. Mike and I were just talking about their song. This is... Oh, this is King of the Carnival. Why it's in this lucite thing, I don't know. Monarch of Merriment, King of the Carnival. So it's probably a New Orleans coin for Mardi Gras. Oh, it says venture to the land of Oz. But it's hard to see because the back of this thing, the lucite, has cracked. Coin's okay, but the lucite is cracked. So the lion is in the center. See if we can get it to focus. I don't think you're going to be able to see it because see, all these funny little lines are because the plastic is cracked. But okay, there you go. You could just see there's the lion is in the center, the Tin Man's over here, the Scarecrow's on this side. You could just kind of see the lion's head. So that's an old Mardi Gras coin. Now they make them out of plastic, but this feels heavy. I don't see a year anywhere. But there's some stuff written in such tiny print that I can't read it. So there may be a year in that banner under their heads, but I can't really tell. I know I have one that I bought that was Mardi Gras, and it was a Gilbert and Sullivan coin. Wow, paperwork for a weed killer. More paperwork. Sometimes these odd paperwork things end up being worth so much. Oh, look, sewing needles. Not in a fancy thing, but made in Great Britain. Now, what do we got here? Oh, hey, I remember these. These are from Joanne Fabrics. You would hang stuff up and hook it on the white wire racks, and then you could just pinch the thing and hang it down. I probably had one in my pocket when I came home one day. It's an old Lady Liberty stamp and just forgot it. I'll have to look. This. I'm going to have to do some research on this. I have the U.S. Army knife from the Civil War that was my great-great grandfather, Amos Trout's. And I know I have pictures that I took somewhere that showed what kind of silverware they had. And some of the sets had these kind of horn bits of with a two-pronged fork. And then there were other ones where it wasn't the whole horn, but it was like it was bone. And I know I have a bone knife and fork, but now that I found this one, I'm wondering, because none of those sharp knives came out of there with a handle like that. I have to look and see. I think he had the bone ones for the mess kit from the Civil War. But I know I've seen that kind of handle before somewhere. Okay, what do we got here? Huh? Owes $25.50. What? No idea. What is this? Oh, ha ha. Oh, this was when in the early days of eBay. This was my little note. And apparently he won a pigeon figure, but he sent me a postal order for 10 pounds, which no wonder it says owes $25.50 current exchange 1927. $19.27. Wow. What year is this? Can I see? 07. 2007. That's from a long time ago. Don't need that anymore. Get rid of that. Okay. Oh, Thoreau on Man and Nature. Dust bunnies with cat. Oh, that's little Elrond. Because he's the only cream color cat. Little Elrond dust bunny. He would wiggle his butt. There's a reason a lot of boxes, because there were some boxes out there. This would have been one of them that were in the playroom before all that stuff came back from the warehouse, and I would have to tape everything shut because he was wiggling his butt into any little box that he could get into because he was so small, and he would sleep in them. He must have gotten into this one. Peter Pauper Press book. Peter Pauper Press usually did limited runs, and when you find them, there are people who collect Peter Pauper Press. It says Mount Vernon, New York. This is copyright 1960. And they're usually all woodblock. Like these literally are, hand pressed books. And the artwork is always some kind of a woodblock. This one is Thoreau on Man and Nature. I had a couple of these and they've kind of gotten scattered. I should have Thoreau. I should have Walden. I should have some Walt Whitman poems. There's that whole Thoreau, Walden, Emerson. There should be something to Emerson's floating around here. Let's see what we got. Constructing Model Buildings by John Cleaver. This is from 1973. So it is all about constructing little model buildings. Shows you how to figure out different layouts. They still have that as a part of the architect. Look, 1 floor of a block of flats, 1/4-inch scale. I like that there's a little double-decker bus there. That's kind of cool. There is a merit badge for model design. Might come in handy to hang on to that. And we're almost into the bottom of this one. Oh, some of this got packed away while it was dusty. In Britain magazine, British Heritage, Realm. I used to pick these up when we worked at the bookstore. So if I still have it, it's usually because there's something in there, something in it that I wanted to go see. So I know they're not going anywhere yet. I know this one's not going anywhere yet. Candy cookbook. Since we don't have an oven that works, that'll come in handy for winter, for Christmas, because then maybe I can make some candy. My favorite castle in the world, Windsor. Absolutely. For some reason, have always had a fascination with that place. Vegetarian cooking book. Michael's been wanting to do that. To try to, like, since meat's so expensive, and it would be beneficial for us for our weight. Now, what, pray tell, is this? I do not reckon. Oh! So these are prints, and I don't know if the reflection will really get it. They are prints of miniature paintings. Now this says circa 1750 AD, Pahari miniature Nagpur. And their outfits actually have like gold to them so that they reflect the gold, even though it's a lithograph. It seems like they applied the gold over top. There's that one. And if you lift them up, they are only attached at the top. It has the information of what the painting is underneath. Garwald. So I think these are from India. I'm looking for the name of town I recognize. The Tej Festival of Rajasthan, being celebrated in the month of Shravana. Miniature Kota, 1760 AD. Wow. Yeah, so they're all Rajasthani miniatures. Jodhpur, yeah, definitely India. These are pretty cool. A bejeweled princess. I don't know what to think all these. These would have been from Aunt June. I mean, they would live in different countries, and then she would like go traveling. Sometimes take the kids, sometimes didn't. They had a chance to go into China, but they left the kids. They did not take the kids to China with them. Movie monsters, monster makeup, monster shows to put on. Oh, they're cool. You can tell I've read this a lot. Look at how the edges are. This was a Scholastic from one of my brothers. This thing, I'm sure, predates me. Scholastic Book Services. What year we got in this thing? Oh, okay. No, maybe not predate me. Copyright 1975. So yeah, it was probably mine. Steve used to explain to me how they did all the special effects, how they did. So I would sit there as a 6-year-old watching, the old Frankenstein movies and watching these old cheesy black and white, like the Gila monster that attacks, the town, and how it would have pieces of foam glued on the poor thing's back. This is a Cosgrove, what are these called? Serendipity books. Some of these I know have turned out to be worth a fair bit of money. I don't know why, but they have quite a following. And this one says it's from 1981. But if you come across anything that is got the purple dragon, it's a serendipity book. They're written by Robin James and Stephen Cosgrove. He usually does the writing and she does the illustrations. Certain ones of these, I don't think were ever reprinted for some reason, and are rarer. Uh, so always check if you come across these, because I know there was a unicorn one that I sold. Oh God, ages ago. Um, because Mike liked them. So anytime I found him at a yard sale or flea market, I'd pick him up. And we had this one about a baby unicorn. And I know at the time, oh God, at least 15 years ago, I sold it and was dumbfounded that I sold it for $20. And it wasn't even a hardback, it was just one of the paperbacks. So keep an eye out for those as a bolo. Well, there's another loose little stamp. Now let's see here. There is last thing in here. Oh, hello. And what, pray tell, are you off of, and are there any more? Oh, wow. You would have been used on one of my purses. So this is a little piece of lucite. It's just a little tiny button. It would go through right there. Now, I would have used these on the purses I used to make. This would have gone on one of the smaller ones and just made a loop to go over it. That's very cool, but it should not be bouncing around in this big box. So let's see. Oh, yeah, no, this is getting thrown in the trash. Wow. I I didn't know I had. These are the emails back and forth with the jackass that broke up with me the night before my mother's viewing. Let that sink in. He broke up with me through email the night before my dead mother's viewing. These are the emails. And these are trash. Not keeping that. Not at all. There's no point. Oh. Oh yeah, this is back in the day when you had letters back and forth, you would keep the letters. These are some of the emails back and forth. Yeah, these are the emails from when things were good. Gone. Just gone. Oh, the things you keep when you're young. God, what year was that? What year was all that? 2012? When did she? No, that'd be too late. Yeah, this email said when things were good. It says January 2006. So much has happened since Mom died. I really thought it had already been 20 years. I guess not. Mike was 13, 14. I was 41. Dad died when I was 30. 6 months later, I got Michael. By then, I was 31. And I was 41 when Mom died. And I'm about to be 59 on Sunday. So yes, it's my birthday weekend. Yeah, so much has changed and gone on and has left me exhausted in so many ways, so many times. It really felt like it was longer ago that Mom was alive. Like I was thinking 20 years, and not. But I'm still here, and I still have a house too full and crappy health. Here's to a better year. So I'm back to taking walks, but I'm also kind of set back in that I can't quite get around the block. Now, some of this stuff is trash, some is going different places. We've managed to actually empty out, and I will be able to get out of the box at least half of it. Books are not going to go, these books are not going to go back in there. Oh, geez. Here we go. There is a big moth, and Aragorn sees it. This is going to be trouble. He eats them. All right, so figure out what to do with the cookbook and the. We'll sit them back in there. Get you did. Yes, I see it, sweetie. If it lands on me, you're not touching it. Did he get it? Everybody else will get a moth and they'll play with it. This little lunatic eats them. So, okay. Does anybody have any questions about anything? Like, we got 13 watching. So, and I got one lone horsey postcard, but it's got a lot of scratches. So that's going to go into the postcards I use for the scouts because I go through a lot of them for them. So now I can move this one up a little bit and we can find out, since I could not lift that other one. We've got this smaller square one, which is heavy and apparently has been packed up since I worked for Wawa because this says dark roast. I so miss getting boxes from there because this is a beautiful size to pack things in. But you know what? I need to go use the restroom. So why don't we take a few minutes break? Everybody go get yourself a drink. We will come up. What is it they used to say? Something for station identification back in the old days. So let me go use the restroom and not trip on anything. That would not be good. Hi, Frodo. I see you. What are you doing? What you doing? Did you lose the buggy over here? Hi. What's up? Ugh. What? No petting? No, because you want to go find the bug? Or did you eat it already? Because this is a big one. This one would gross me out if you eat this one. Because that's just disgusting. You know, there's a lot, having grown up with all boys in a Boy Scout troop, that I can handle. You know, kid can have blood coming down their legs. Fine, deal with that. Cannot deal with when they throw up. No. Can deal with a lot of other stuff. Can deal with a lot of the bugs. These guys, if it's a little bug or a little fly, he'll eat it. Fine. Deal with that. But this is a sizable moth. This has a body at least an inch long. So the wingspan's like, I cannot. You're going to eat that. Don't eat it in front of me. Get off the box, baby. Now, all the way off. He always does this. He stops and he stretches. So let's see. Let's see what's in this little one. Is everybody back? Is everybody back from our station identification? So if you like seeing me go through boxes live, we can do this more often as space provides. I'm just happy to be healthy enough again to do this. I do realize it's throwing the whole idea of alternate sales all out of whack, but that's okay. Because everything I had such plans the last time we talked, right? Everything was going to be about doing this and doing that, and I was flat on my back. You know it's bad when I miss scouts. Especially, and I've missed a meeting. I've even missed a court of honor for being sick, but never the nights of border reviews. Because there's too much for me to do helping the person who runs those, because we have to coordinate and we've got to have everything. And kids are coming up to me to get last second requirements done and listed in so that they can request a border review, and we try to fit them in that night. And so I never miss a border review night. That tells you how sick I was. Okay. Ooh. So I see some cute goodies. Oh, wow. So this looks like it was probably made for a costume, because you can see where, if you look at the back of it, where they cut some lace piece apart. Oh, look, it's got dry rot. What a pity. Oh, that's why it's got dry rot. This is on silk. This is on silk. What a pity it's dry rotted. It's a salmon color. But all this little, it's literally like my finger just went through it. It's literally falling apart in my hands. I cannot salvage that. The more I move it, the more holes I'm creating. Look at the big flower there. Yeah, there was a dress once at Arden in a costume room where I lifted it up, and as I lifted it up, it was this gorgeous Edwardian silk lace dress, and it literally just dripped apart like water. It just from the weight of it, it just literally started just going. So let's move this over. Drop that in there. But because my mom worked for Stern's costume shop, he used to give her vintage stuff and say, here, can you copy this? Well, what do you want me to do with the original? Oh, I don't care. And she never would throw it away. So sometimes you come across bits like that where it was some fantastic piece of silk. Now, I know there is a 1700s frock coat, all made out of silk, all Still incredibly stunning workmanship. But it's also got its dry rot issues. And I know there is a fabric museum has clothing like that that's somewhere in Kentucky, and I had ripped out the article and saved it, but I don't know what I ever did with it. And I also don't know where she put that coat. I know it's still in the house. I don't know where she stuffed it. Because that is such an incredible piece that as soon as I find it, I want to just give it to somewhere where I don't know that it's possible to restore it, but it's certainly possible to do the sketches and to copy, because the embroidery work on this thing is fantastic. This looks like a sewing panel, which then should be in the basket over there. Oh, it is. Yep. So this is meant to be a wall panel, or you can, Mom had gotten these panels. I remember we sold a bunch of them. So it's all these different Mother Goose, and you have little boy sleeping there, and you have Jack and Jill, Jack Be Nimble. They're all different nationalities too. Jack Be Nimble is an Asian young man. Little lady with the kids in his shoe. I cannot even tell if you're seeing what I'm telling you about because it's so big. But it's Mother Goose Town. And what she had done when she did these is she made them with quilt batting in them. And then she would put, she made some that had vinyl and it's the same kind of stuff like Joanne Fabrics back in the 90s used to sell it, and you could make your own rain slickers out of it. So it was like this plastic, but you could sew on it. And she would cover the back, and you could get it in different solid colors. She would cover the back with it. And so for some, and then put straps on it with Velcro so it could be rolled up. And then, so that some things they were meant to be this big old play mat that you could take the little baby or toddler outside, and then they wouldn't have to stay in the grass and they could play sitting on that. And then other times she made them so that same way with some quilt batting inside and would make it as a wall hanging. We sold out all of them. So I did not realize there was any of this left. Okay, that goes there. But this shouldn't be in here. There is a whole laundry basket underneath a box over there that's all panels and stuff that hopefully when Mike comes back, he says one of the things he wants to do is get a new foot for his sewing machine so that we can start getting stuff, or at least I can. If I can spend just an hour a day or to just sew up some stuff that's easy enough that I could just then stuff it, or something like that where I can just put batting, then I could refill my Etsy store. I'm so bummed that it's too close to Halloween now. I never got any of those patterns into the Etsy store, so I have temporarily put my Etsy store in vacation mode. This is, how old do you think a pattern is if it was only 60 cents? It's a simplicity pattern for a dress. Isn't that cool? Now, is all in there, I hope. This is where I run into trouble. I was never taught how to lay a pattern out on a piece of fabric. Oh, there's a straight pin in here. So this was used. So some of these are, so I'm hoping everything is in there because I have no clue. Do we have a year anywhere? Not on the envelope. Oh, darn. Maybe on. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get that out. I don't want to get that out. So she has the instruction thing wrapped around some of the pieces. But yeah, this should be in the box over there of all the vintage patterns. Hey, remember back in the day when you could buy the Christmas wrap and it would all just be the 2 sheets for every pattern? It'd all be in that little square. Look what we just found. Oh wait, it's upside down. There's a little white deer in the middle of the aspen wood. Both sheets are there. It's gold, white, and silver. Well, let's see if they are, looks like they are both there. And all there. Okay, I see a little damage. So, right on this corner here, you can see light coming right through. There's a little pinhole right there. So, if anyone is interested in some vintage Christmas wrap, let me know. Interesting pattern. It would be kind of interesting to decoupage something with that. That you've got this forest and then just single white deer. And isn't it if there's a white animal, it's a spirit animal? Isn't that how that one goes? What is this? This is a thing on Navy ships. Oh, Imperial Japanese Navy ships. 1/700 Waterline Series Guidebook. I don't know what any of that means. But I'm guessing it's models. Oh, maybe not. Oh, this is going to be fun. So while the title is in English, the rest of the book... Okay, so the silhouettes, figure this one out. The silhouettes have English underneath them, but all this is in Japanese. I am so confused. Yeah, now see, these are all pictures of models, but all the text is completely in Japanese. That's more model work. Well, you can't beat Japan for models. When you look at like the old Godzilla movies and you see what their miniature work is like in some of their old science fiction things, they are so incredible. Yeah, it's all models. Wow. No idea where that came from. This is probably an old National Geographic. It's missing its cover. Do we know a year on this one? Why would I keep this one? It's got to have something. Members Forum. Okay, Franklin Mint ad dated please mail by September 30th, 1988. So it's from the 80s. So, Odyssey, the Art of Photography. Thing on Alexander Graham Bell. Did Perry reach the pole? Well, technically, no, he didn't. I don't think he actually met the actual pole. Oh, I see. Within the yellow border. So, this has an article about the men who made the magazine. I can't get this to unfold. Oh, that's why. So they have this huge fold out that's got all the so many, even like from the very first ones, the pictures from the original covers from so many years. Like the very first one was October 1888. Then they jumped to January of 1896, then January of 1900. But they've got all these different covers. Now, some of these ones have the covers like this. where the index of what's in it is on the front. I have some of them around here, just like a stack of them. I think it's in the attic. Of those really old ones. So I probably held on to that because I used to take little pictures like this, and I would make little tiny wooden frames and then sell them as artwork for dollhouses. So they're not quite the right scale to make them like little National Geographic books for a dollhouse. They're not small enough. But some of these could be done as posters. So that's probably why I held on to this for that. That's another reason why I want to have the office back, because I want to do crafting again and get back to that so that I can get back to doing some of that work and then help refill my store. Brassiere fasteners in the original packaging. Still sealed. Now, what is this one? Made in Chester, Connecticut. A rug punch needle. Now, this has been opened. I don't know how you do punch rugs. That is not the same thing as a latch hook. And wow, when you got packed from somewhere. I don't know that. This looks like a box that was packed in a hurry from somewhere. Like there's a cover's a little off. What's new with Windows? Finishing drywall step by step. Oh, perfect timing for that one. That may have come out of that one, but it looks like it's an ad. Oh, wow, this is old. Historic Chester. This is back when they did, this is January 2003. That's Veterans Circle in the cemetery. There used to be Confederate soldiers there, but finally they eventually got them sent back down south. I forget when. We were out there this year putting flags on the graves for Veterans Day, and there's actually some people who were buried from some action in Cuba from the 1800s, which I didn't know about. Oh, this is a picture of the John Wetherell School. Now, this school is now apartments, and expensive apartments too. Can you imagine having those really cool windows, these giant friggin' windows? But that iconic red door, though, they've sealed up. They did it a year ago. They got rid of the red door completely, and now it's just like block. It looks ugly. It's gray and it's ugly. But that, John Wetherell, is the father of the woman this house was built for. So that's pretty cool. So I could see why we held on to this. It's got some of the different churches. Let's see if there's any other. It's so hard to find images from Chester, and that's Holy Trinity. Spear Brothers Department Store. That building is still downtown. Love the turrets on the front corners. This is the Chester High Vocational Building, which was also built around the same time the actual high school building was rebuilt, with all that 1960s brick kind of look with hardly any windows in it. The high school looks the same way because there was a fire at the old stone school building. Ethel Waters Park, because Ethel Waters was born in Chester. And is that it? couple more churches, the old train station. Yeah. So, oldchesterpa.com. I try to find the new pictures of Chester, and you can't find any. You just can't find any. What are you? You just look like a random piece of fabric, which you are. And you've got some rust spots and some dirt. I think you're going in the wash. You also are cheap fabric. There's sizing on this. You can feel it. Huh. I got a laundry basket back there. That's going in the wash. Well, hello there. Used to have a candle in it. Home Beautiful Original Design Japan. Still has the original sticker. Well, that needs a bath. That definitely needs a bath. Not there because the cats will knock that over when they go to get to the window. I'll stick that up there in Michael's bag. Yeah, this was definitely a hurriedly packed. Oh, Gilbert and Sullivan's Iolanthe at Arden Singers. Is this the one I was in? I never did get to direct that show. There were some political game playing when I was supposed to direct that show. I love the Iolanthe story, and I was supposed to direct it at a group that's now defunct, and unfortunately, the president of the group got ticked because she didn't get the Fairy Queen, but somebody else came in and did the Fairy Queen, and really, that audition that the other person gave was not an audition. It was a performance. It was fantastic. And because I was friends with both ladies, I sat out and would not vote, even though I knew exactly what tone I wanted to set with the production. And I knew I wanted a sexy Fairy Queen. I didn't really want the typical 1950s stereotype of the Fairy Queen from D'Oyly Carte Opera Company, where she's just this, big contralto that shows up in what looks like a glorified Glinda dress. I wanted to go back to the Gilbert's original costume for the Fairy Queen. She looks like a Valkyrie. She comes in, she's got the helmet with the little wings, the chest plate, and a white silky dress. She looks like one of the Valkyries. She's supposed to be intimidating and really and I wanted that. And I also wanted her on the sexy side. And I had put that in the blurb of what I was looking for your Fairy Queen. And this one person came in and nailed it. But the other one felt that because she was the then current president of the group, I should have cast her. She told me that they still hadn't found a music director, and so they decided that they don't think they could do a full production. So they're just going to do a choral production of the show, and that my services were no longer required. But then it turned out that she turned around and went back to the board and told the board I quit. So yeah, I'm not a happy camper. I was not a happy camper over that nonsense. Okay, so this one, I was not in the chorus on this one. Okay. 2003. So I'm going to... Oh, wow, there's an ad in here. From me. This is back when I actually was doing it as a job of helping people empty their house to move into a retirement community. Did you inherit a house full of stuff and not know where to begin to empty it? Are you moving into a retirement community and have to scale down your belongings? I can help. My name, my phone number, and then wanted to buy pre-1960 buttons, loose or on cards. Wow. Yeah, that's when that was a side hustle, and this house wasn't that filled. That's gonna go in the box for the Arden archives. Oh, ho, ho. This explains. Oh, hello. Jeez, Louise, get over there. This explains why this box was so heavy. There's a whole stack of magazines in here. Oh, heaven's sakes. Delaware County Historical Society. Yeah, well, they're going belly up. American Legacy. Miniature Collector. Be taking a look at that. Investing in a Piece of History. Buying and Selling Older Homes. A seminar for everyone interested in owning a historic property. Well, I think that goes with that. Teddy Bear Crafts, so beautiful. Yeah, these were, Mom used to get that one. Some of the stuff that's in these is way beyond me. And then there's craft ones. Oh, National Gardening. So that's from 1999. 2002, 2001. Yeah, this is all when I still worked at Joann Fabrics. That's why this one has no cover. Because they send the cover back to get credit for something that didn't sell. And then we would use, oh, I'm sorry, Gimli, I just tapped you in the head. We would use them to like make little things out of it and use them for the craft classes. Southern Living, Piecework, Threads. I'm going to have to go through all these. This Old House. Family Life. Oh, gosh. I haven't read these in years because I haven't done theater since Mom died. Stage Directions magazine. Yeah, I stopped doing, and a bunch of This Old House. I stopped doing it pretty much after Mom died. Dying for Chocolate Murder Mystery. Because everywhere I went, there were I would go see a show and somebody would come out and go, "Oh God, I remember that. That was a costume Mom made." And certainly in the Gilbert and Sullivan groups. I think everybody but Savoy up in Philadelphia had costumes of my mother's. Thespis did, Arden Singers did, Rose Valley Chorus and Orchestra did, Gilbert and Sullivan Society of Chester County did. So yeah, the four that were right in my own backyard all had costumes she made, and I couldn't go to any of the shows because every time I went, I just couldn't. And we did shows together, because she really liked it. I wanted to sing, and so she would volunteer to help do the costumes. We would actually, when we had Michael would be backstage, little kid, and he would, some of the shows he actually was given a small part and was in it. So it just was too hard to go back, though. I'm seriously thinking about going back in the spring to the Arden Singers because they are doing Sullivan's Emerald Isle. The Emerald Isle has gorgeous music. I've got to find my recording because I don't know how to read music, so I have to learn everything by ear. So if I can find my recording and then see if I'm going to have to find a CD player. I'm going to have to get a new CD player somehow. But I need to hear it so I can learn it. And I'd love to go back and be in the chorus for that because I absolutely love that man's music. I am what they call a bel canto soprano. So a lot of the Broadway stuff, you either need to be a belter of an alto or you need, like Phantom of the Opera, you need to be this coloratura. I used to be able to sing Phantom of the Opera. I'm not going to be singing that at 59. But Michael has been getting on me for the last couple of years that I need to get back to singing because he thinks it would be a very good stress reliever. Even if I just sang around the house more often. But I am seriously thinking of, And I'm going to have to start doing scales, get my voice in shape, because that's going to take a couple months. But I am thinking of doing that because the notice came out of when the rehearsals are, and they are not on Wednesday nights for this one. Because that's another reason I didn't go back to Ardent Singers. Because they started doing rehearsals on Wednesday nights. And Wednesday night Scouts. I'm not giving up Scouts. I worked too hard to get there. Not leaving there. So I might be singing again. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, okay. So these are all magazines that are all craft or house or... Why do I have Southern Living? So not my cup of tea. I don't know why I have that one. We'll figure it out. What's the book? That's a Walden Books tag. Good food fast. Food and Wine Magazine's menu cookbook. Yeah, that one will probably be leaving. Oh, a Tightwad Gazette. These things have some fabulous tips in them. I've got the big almanac one that has like all the editions in one giant book. But Tightwad Gazettes are great fun if you're on a budget. Don't know why that one's here. Oh, I know why I kept this. This is from Christie's Auction House. Victorian and British Impressionist art. I'm not a huge fan of Impressionist stuff, but see, like some of these would be too big for a dollhouse, but some of these might be okay. And I have some, yeah, like see, these would be way too big. Way too big. So these you could use to decoupage, most likely, if you wanted to use them for that. But working at the Delaware Art Museum, there would often be catalogs that would just from auctions that were art auctions. And the Brethren Home, that's where Aunt Harriet and Uncle George went. But they would have them just out on a table. Anybody could take them. An article on Booth's Corners. Well, I live right by Booth's Corners. Don't see anything. That could be thrown in the trash, recycled. There's an awful lot of grit in this box. It's getting all over my jeans. Christopher Hitchens, Marks and Mrs. Man of the World. I can't imagine I would be hanging on to this for that. Oh, new books. Why? Tolstoy. I'll have to say, oh, Robert Massey's Catherine the Great. I've already read that now. It's a fabulous book. Robert Massey really did his homework. Yeah, so this can go. I probably held on to it to... I would have a lot of stuff like that, where I would hang on to the article about a book that I wanted to get. Oh, a little more sewing. Tiny rickrack. Tiny rickrack. Good for crafting and good for Christmas ornaments. It's hard to get. It's really hard to find like the tiny stuff anymore. Repair needles. Oh, a curved needle. A thin curved needle. Made and printed in Hong Kong, but sold through New Jersey for carpets, rugs, awnings, leather, car seats, and upholstery. There's some thick needles in there, but there's a really thin, curved one. I've been looking for one of them because... Oh! What the heck did you fall off for? Don't you fall off. Bracelet just fell off. Didn't lose any stones. So I guess the clasp the clasp is okay. It's not broken. Maybe it's just not tight enough, because sometimes this little tiny tab, this little tab that sticks up, sometimes that gets to where it's out a little too far and won't hook tight. But still, this is a pretty little thing. Certainly something the Queen would approve of. Okay, so what are you? You? Oh, this got squished. Bummer. It was a pirate thing. I have a feeling this went to a play set, but it's in pieces. So, 'tis trash now. Yeah, I don't see a maker's name. Pretty sure that went to something of Michael's when he was little. But it got in the box, and the box must have gotten squished. Harry Potter card. Yu-Gi-Oh card. And, oh, another one of these. So I know there's a bunch of these around loose. Now, what did I do with the ones I did find? Because it's a Whitman set. It's an alphabet set, but it's Pinocchio. And so that'll have to go into the ephemera. Care of Magical Creatures card. That Harry Potter set, we never really did get into that one. So yeah, there's a lot of grit in here and pieces of plastic from that thing that had broken. So I'll be dumping all that into there. But I don't think that was bad for tonight, because I honestly think that this can get downsized to just one box, because some of this other stuff has a home. Some things, like the thing for the Brethren home, I don't know why we kept it. I'll look and see. Maybe my great aunt and uncle's pictures are in it. Who knows? But I will look at that and then put it in the recycling. And certainly some of the other stuff that we threw away, and we sold a book. But some of the holiday stuff shouldn't actually be mixed in this. If I can get into the third floor closet with those double louver doors, there is a box there that's just general holiday stuff, and I would like to put them in there just so they're in there. Someday we'll get to where I can sort all the different holiday stuff that's tucked in there, but this way it's closer to where it should be than just bouncing around in a random box. Because, too, I'm hoping that it can be this box that we keep, the smaller one, even though it's cleaning out, because this other one that had the knives in it, that's the one I expected to find something broken in it, because that one had started to squash. So I am quite happy with this. I had a nap, so I'm really wired and awake. So I'll be able to tidy up a lot of this tonight, and because I will probably be up till at least 3. And I hope you guys had fun. Did you guys have fun getting to go through the treasure hunt of not knowing, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I just don't know when this one would have gotten. It's such an odd mix of stuff that I honestly think it was a box that was, let's just throw it in to clean it up kind of thing. Just an odd collection in all of it. Those knives are something else, though, but they are filthy. They are all filthy dusty. So they are going to sit down inside this trash can overnight in Mike's room, so that there's no chance while I'm asleep the cat's getting anywhere near them. And then tomorrow morning I'll take them downstairs to the kitchen and I'll hand wash all of them. Give those wooden handles a good scrubbing. And then probably take some tung oil and treat the handles so that they're all cleaned up. Oh, you enjoy the reminiscing? Well, that's easy to do, is considering that I open up a box and I never know, like, which part of the family is this going to be from? What's it going to have in it? Whether, like, we found stuff in one box that some of it was from June, and so some of it was from my family, and so it was from Leslie's family. I, so it's always it's an odd little potluck kind of thing with any given box. And I knew I felt a piece of fabric under the tape. I didn't know it was just only one piece of, well, two. We had to throw the one away. So I didn't know it was just going to be that, but I couldn't figure out why that box was so heavy for the size. All those magazines. Magazines are definitely, how much power do we have still on the phone? 65%. Magazines are definitely very heavy, and it's because of the type of paper they have to use, because it takes a lot of ink to saturate with colors. So that's why they tend to be super heavy. Let's see if we can find if there's any pictures. I miss Aunt Harriet and Uncle George. It's kind of like the same thing with my niece Sarah and I. Um, they, when my mother was born, it was 1929. So Uncle George was, I think, 14. When Steve was born, and I came along, my oldest brother, Steve, was 16 when I was born. So Aunt Harriet and Uncle George, even though they were technically great aunt and uncle, they were more like just aunt and uncle to us. And Gary and I spent a lot of time with them because Gary would drive and I'd pester to go with him, and he didn't mind taking me. So I got to spend a lot of time until they moved out to the Brethren home, which was out in Lancaster County, which was pretty far away. And I didn't see them as much. Gary would go out and stay, but I didn't have that option. I was working by then and putting myself through college. I don't see any pictures so far. So Gary would send donations to them even after they both had passed away, because Cross Keys Village was a great place for them to go because they could take their dog, and they were able to have a little one floor cottage when they retired out there, and it was great because you could just go, and if you wanted flowers planted in the little flower garden out front, you just told them what kind. That's all you needed to do. Somebody would show up and plant them. In the fall, they'd come, prune them back if they needed to, and so you never had to worry about shoveling your walk. That was always taken care of. But you had to have one meal a day up at the big building so that they could always check in on you. And if they didn't see you at either breakfast or lunch, you'd be getting a phone call. So it was a really good place. They would always check up on their seniors. So, so what are we gonna do now? Her kitties. Okay, I was gonna push the one box. I wanted to make sure Aragorn. Where are they? Aragorn's usually on me like white on rice. So Arwen is up there on top of Michael's camping gear. Gimli's over there. Frodo's back here. That means those two are getting in trouble somewhere, is what this tells me, because it's Aragorn and Elrond that are missing. And I know the basement door is shut, so they can't get down there. I wonder if the third floor door is shut, because Mike had been up there to take some of these boxes of books up. And he said they had already knocked a bunch of stuff over, because there was that kind of a big pile of just still loose boxes. And they chase each other around. Little stinkers. Honestly, they're 2 years old. Nobody told me that there was like terrible twos with cats. Because with Mike, twos were not the problem. It was the threes. The threes with that boy. But these cats, they're 2 years old now. And it's definitely like having a bunch of toddlers some days. Just running all over the place. I know they're stuffed up. But part of that's, I think, from this stuff. So, I don't necessarily have to do all this tonight because I do want to get a damp towel from downstairs so that I can dust all these books off because they are all dusty. Ugh. Now I can tip all that out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that, though. I know some of you like the reminiscing, but it's good to have 2 boxes gone through, though. I had 2 boxes that had been clawed on the corners because some of this stuff was in that room when these guys were being brand new kittens. And we all know kittens don't just have claws. Kittens have needle sharp murder mittens. So one of the boxes we ended up throwing away from getting down into the boxes had to go because these guys at some point had shredded both corners. And so that was one box that went. Another box went because it had started to be crushed. I have filled all but that one box that I had gotten from my friend Jan, who was the lady who a year ago was the one I was helping empty her house because she was moving. So as she's gotten through boxes, she's letting me have those boxes, the moving boxes, because most of them are that smaller size, and they're U-Haul boxes. They are much, much sturdier than the ones that we bought from Home Depot, which are all the ones that are collapsing or the handles have ripped them right off. And so I'm going to need more because there's still 2 giant boxes down there that are all craft stuff, and that all needs to be put into smaller boxes to be manageable. And they're tipping over. But I need to start getting through books. I really had wanted to really get some more things done because some of you want pictures of the stuff that you would have had from a previous sale. Because I am still trying to get things caught up. Because one problem I'm having is like I find part of your stuff from a sale, but because I might have a list where it might be from different sales, I don't have all the stuff in the same box that I'm finding things in. So I have a box that's by sale, not by person per se. So that's a bit difficult because there's no shelf space to go, okay, I can take all this goes here, this is this person, this is this person, this is. I don't have the room for that yet. My nose itches. So I'm still working on it. I spilled hot chocolate on my shipping list, my packing and shipping list. So I am rewriting that. That's what I was working on this morning. The cats were not cooperating because the twins, Aragorn and Arwen, kept taking turns on wanting to lay across the paper as I'm writing on it. So I'm rewriting that, which is good though in a way because that way, all the things that have been dealt with won't be on the new list. So, that'll be gone. Um, but quite a few of you want photographs of stuff. And I wanted to use the light box to get decent photos. And now, no light box. I'm going to cut, there's a flap in the top so that you could bend that down and then be able to take pictures straight down. If I cut that flap out of the way and stick it right underneath this bare bulb that's right here, I might have to take the top off. And I'm hoping that might give me enough light coming straight down that in the daylight, when the sun's coming through the window, that maybe then I can take some pictures. But that'll bug Mike because I have to do it up here. But maybe then I can get some of these pictures taken, because I know I've got some glassware and some others. And I have someone who had wanted a yeoman doll. And you had said, yes, you still wanted it. That's great. Except I've run into a problem. I found 2 of them. And they're a wee bit different. And I don't know which is the one that was from that sale. And my notes don't have the year. So I have to backtrack and go through and find out which one of these 2 yeoman dolls it is. But at least they both say ER, because, she was on that throne for a long while. But one is definitely older than the other, and I believe is possibly celluloid. And then the other one is the harder plastic that replaced celluloid, called sterline. Sterline? Sterline. A lot of when you see the like the really hard plastic early holiday decorations, like the little plastic bunnies that were always in pink or a light blue or a yellow, or the Christmas decorations, but they were only in a red or a white because they had limited color that they could do. And it would be just one solid color would be the plastic piece, and it's really, really hard plastic. And that stuff, that was the first real plastic that they were coming out with, is this styrene. And then I think it's styrene. And then it started becoming a softer plastic, which came out more into the 50s and 60s. So there are people like me who like the styrene, the real hard plastic, and have collected a little bit of it here and there. Not too much, because it can be quite expensive depending on the holiday. I think I have a couple of cupcake picks, because I like that old hard plastic cupcake picks. I have some for different holidays, because Annie Al, great aunt Alice, Annie Al was hostess at the Norwood Diner all the time I was growing up. And so she would send home, they had this baker. All I knew was his name was Bert. I never heard any last name, and he was German. He made the most scrumptious, incredible cookies and pastries, and and none of this making anything out of shortening. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, 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 no. Everything was butter or lard, the old school way, the old, pre-World War II way. Forget this shortening crap. He didn't like the taste of it. He wouldn't use it. So it was the most fantastic. Now you go to a bakery now and there's a taste. You could taste the shortening that's in some stuff. And it's just never had that with his stuff. But there would be like these, and Mom would keep them all, these little plastic decorations. So I have some. I have a few for Halloween, and I have a little block of styrofoam that's not real compressed styrofoam, and I remember using think I used a chopstick to make the holes, and I used to have them displayed, and I had them sticking up in that so that you could then display them and have them out. Um, I was watching Lorianne Sugar Britches. She's up to 900 and just over 900 subscribers. We need to find her another 100. She's so close to being monetized. So close. She did a sale with Chapter 2 Vintage, and I think she picked up like 90 subscribers from doing that, which is fantastic. Because she was just over 800 the last time I talked about, trying to help get her subs up. And so she got to do a thing with Chapter 2 Vintage, and oh, hello. No, you don't want to lay in there. That's all cruddy in there. No, what are you doing? No. Gimli, I know you like laying in boxes, but you're not laying in that box. That box is cruddy. I need to clean it out. So I was thrilled to see it tonight. I only got to stay for a little bit, but she was doing these things where it's your choice, and she had these little bins. Some stuff was for $5. But by the time I got there, it was getting late, and she had a whole little bin of these vintage cupcake picks, and they were for $1 each, $1 each. And I said I wanted to do that, but then there were so many people ahead of me for whatever $5 or $3 or $2 bin that they wanted to go through, that I didn't get a chance to see any of them. So I will have to, because for $1 each, maybe she'll have some cool ones in there. Not just looking for Halloween. I mean, I just like, I would love to find, and I never found them here. I don't know whatever happened to them. But I know that some of the picks we had would hold a candle. Now, the only ones I found are these little teeny tiny pink flower ones. But I know darn well I've seen that in yellow. I've been looking for those. But I just think they're just, I don't know. I just like that styrene stuff. And the cupcake things, when you don't have a lot of space, they are a great way to decorate with because they're small. They're nice and small. I used to live on this stuff when I worked at Wawa. My mocha mint iced coffee, not from the deli with the mixed drinks, because that mint coffee is disgusting to me anywhere. This comes in a giant box, and we would have to shake up this box and slide it into the thing and pull the tube down, hook it through the thing and cut it off, and then shut the door. And so it's in one of these little machine things. And there's usually only 3 flavors. But you can always tell if somebody put it in there and didn't shake the box, because it's like all coffee and no mint. But Gary is very kind to me, and he, when he knows I have a live coming up, he'll pick one up for me. He'll go out that afternoon and pick one up and put it in the fridge for me. So, no, I got so sick. Those boxes, I have 2 boxes from you that I didn't open. Speak of the devil, were your ears burning? Because I was just talking about the fact that I saw that your channel had 900, just over 900 subscribers. You are so close. We need to get you another 100. So I haven't gone back and watched the sale that you did with Chapter 2 Vintage yet, because I was so sick last week. The 2 boxes are still sitting on the staircase to come up here. So I haven't done an unboxing video. So no, I have not opened my boxes yet. I hope to do that tomorrow. I want to film that so that I can post that on Saturday morning. Because I even, from the box from before then, I honestly don't even remember if I did an unboxing of the last one that I got from you. But yeah, your 2 boxes showed up. I'm so bummed that I missed the chance to go through your little. I was just talking about your little um buy it for choice, your little baskets of $5 and $3 and $2 and $1, and how I was hoping to get to the $1 one with the picks. So I'll have to watch the video and see if you got through that, because I had to leave and come start the chat tonight. Lorianne, look, an empty box. We actually got through 2 boxes, and some stuff went in the trash, and but there's quite a bit of stuff that has other places that it should be. And that's the hard part. When your house is this stuffed, my sister's comment was, well, just put it away. If you know you want to keep it, just put it away. Where is away when every drawer and every closet is packed? Where is away? Because away is already full of something else. So there's slightly a little more wiggle room. Some things there's actually an away. So like the stuff that's meant for the house, I will put that in the file cabinet in my room until we find out where Michael put the big book, the big binder, so that way there has a spot. I've already started that spot, so that has a spot. The giant knives, I don't know what I'm into with them yet. So it'd be really nice to at least keep one of them to have a really good, sharp knife. And I like them because their handles are small. My hands are very small. So to have something I can actually grab. So I'll have to figure out that. But some of those books I know need to be checked. And some of them are going to go into my room because I have this much shelf space empty. Yay! So they have a space. That fabric panel shouldn't be here. The stack of magazines is like this high. So I go through that and figure out what's going where with them, if they're even staying. So hopefully I'll be able to have that down and only have this smaller box. So that'll be good. I think we did well. And then there's stuff like this where, they need to be cleaned. But these might end up, being some little thing I can throw up into the Etsy store or onto eBay. Though I found craft things a lot of times do better on Etsy. But now that I'm healthier, I wake up every morning and this is all croupy and I still got a cough. So, no, the water leak is not fixed yet. There's not funds yet to do that. I do have this epoxy that's for plumbing, but these are 9-foot ceilings on the first floor. I'm too short. So standing on a 6-foot step ladder, I'm also afraid of heights. So I'm not gonna, gone are the days when I used to sit on top of that thing to paint the walls. That ain't happening anymore. So I need Mike home, and Mike has been in California for training with his job with Boy Scouts, his actual job, with council. So the plan is when he gets back, we'll have a chance because he can reach up there because we can see the hole. It's a little smaller than a dime, but it's a definite hole. And so every time you run the tub or you flush the toilet, water's coming out of that thing. It's nasty. But the pipe has to be dry, and whoever gets up on the ladder has to not only be able to reach the ceiling, they have to reach up into the ceiling to get to that little hole. The other holes from the tub drain line, they're little pinhole kind of things, and we got to take the ceiling apart more to get to them. And hopefully we'll get a plumber. But the bigger one is the problem, and we're going to try to epoxy it with this plumber's epoxy mix, but he has to be here to do it. So we haven't done anything with it yet because we just ran out of time. And then we both got sick. And I was really sick. Um, I mean, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Uh, all I know is I miss scouts. And I honestly can't tell you much about any one of those 3 days. I was in and out of fevers, in and out of dozing off. Michael was worried about me, so he made me come in here and lay on the bed while he worked on the laptop at the desk. And he had something running on the TV, and I don't even some dragon. All I remember is hearing is "Kami Kami Ha." God, I was like, why? I heard that enough when you were a kid. So that would have been Dragon Ball Z. I vaguely remember hearing that now and then. I was that sick on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I was just out of it. And just he had the lights on, and I literally had a t-shirt folded up and over my eyes. I couldn't stand any light. Everything hurt. Anything that was nasal passages. Here, all through the ears, everything up. My eyes, my head. I wanted to just take my brain out of my skull. But we ran tests on me twice just because we were afraid that we had a false negative because there was so much gunk in my nose. But we did 2 COVID tests because he has some because they get them free at work. And both times were negative, so it wasn't that. But whatever it was a vicious sinus infection, head cold, and apparently it's going through the elementary schools in my area right now. And I was at the doctor's office on Monday at 10:30 that morning to get my flu shot, to get the results of the blood work, which was good, to talk about getting an endoscopy script for finding out, is this hernia or is this ulcer? So we got all that squared away, but there were these 3 little kids who were all coughing and sneezing and sounding horrible and stuffed up, and I swear I got it from them. It's because this was not the flu. My body didn't ache. I wasn't nauseous. I've had the flu plenty of times. I had none of the other flu symptoms. It was all just my head. And it was brutal for me. Mike had a stuffy nose and felt bad for Wednesday. He didn't feel too great. And so he took off he had stuff to do for work that he had to go do because he knew he was going to be gone for a week. So Friday, he took off on Friday because he knew he was leaving on Monday. So he took off on Friday, did what he always does when he doesn't feel good. Takes a big dose of NyQuil, curls up, wraps himself up in a heavy blanket and sweats it all out. And then the next day he's like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I know I let you play in the dirt so you would have a good, healthy immune system, unlike me. But damn, you make me jealous. Every time, because I was born with a heart murmur. Every girl in our family, from my great-grandmother down, has been born with it. Almost everybody has grown out of theirs. I didn't. So every time an illness came through the house, I got shipped off to one of the elderly relatives to stay. So I didn't get a lot of those childhood illnesses. So I never had measles. I never had mumps. I didn't have chicken pox. So my immune system's not great. It's just not. And I work with kids, but Usually I don't catch anything from the Boy Scouts. But man, yeah, I am definitely feeling better. Um, though today seriously was the first day where I've really been up and around and moving up and down in the house. And I did some yard work because there was some Chinese bittersweet vine that's putting berries out, and the berries are toxic. And I go out there and I find Gimli swatting at them, thinking they're toys, playing with them. I'm like, oh, that's when I looked it up and went, oh, it could, no, these are toxic to the kitties. Bye. I don't want that thing through my azalea anyway. We've got enough wild vines in that yard. Between the regular ivy, poison ivy from the neighbor's yard, um, the bittersweet vine, the wisteria vine from hell of my mother's, the trumpet vine absolutely from hell that mom wanted. That thing's a nightmare. And let's see, the honeysuckle's not so bad, but the wild grape, there was wild grape. So I have 7 vines, 7 wild type vines running rampant through my property, driving me up the wall. And they've had free reign for a long while because I couldn't do anything at all. I couldn't even walk in my own yard safely for an entire year because of how unsteady I was after screwing up my back. Even with the walker, I could go like maybe across the front lawn because that's flat and there's only one spot where there's some tree roots. I couldn't go in the backyard at all because there's too many little bumpy spots or spots where there's tree roots and stuff. So these dang vines have had plenty of time to become invasive little monsters in my yard. It's like Doctor Who's crinoid taking over the place. So yeah, I'm doing a lot better. There's still some residual, though it's to the point where I don't know so much if this is just allergy. I don't think it's all allergy, but it's also not all cold anymore. I still get a lot of gunk in my throat in the mornings. But we're heading into fall. One of my biggest allergies is leaf mold, and the leaves are all starting to come down. So there's a giant pin oak on that side of the house. It has a branch that reaches all the way across to this side of the house. And so that thing's dropping lots of leaves right now. It won't be long before the tulip tree starts dropping leaves. The cup and saucer magnolia probably has already started. And then the house behind me, there's at least 5. Well, I think there's 3 behind the shed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 6 Norwegian maples, which in the U.S. are incredibly invasive. We all take them for granted because we've seen them for so many decades, but they're actually an invasive species. And so those suckers, those Norway maples, we used to have 2 American maples, giant trees that were on the front lawn on each corner of the property. And there was a whole row of them on the house up the street. And they were all from the Wetherell family when this was all one chunk of their property. And those things were huge, but those were American maple. And these Norway ones grow like weeds. And I'm constantly pulling the suckers out. Yeah, I'm trying to take care of myself, but oh, I don't know. I mean, I hit 50 and it seemed like everything started to fall apart. Nobody told me that the warranty on this expires when you hit 50. So should have gotten that extended warranty, right? But yeah, on the 27th, which I think is Sunday, pretty sure that's Sunday, I'll turn 59. So, and I don't know, Michael just says don't make any plans because I was going to do a live either that evening or that afternoon, but Mike said don't do that. So he's up to something. He's probably just going to take me out to dinner. So yeah, see, you know what it's like. Everybody I know that as they've hit 50, I said, yeah, you just wait. You're going to hit 50 and the warranty's going to expire, and then you'll see what trouble it is. And they all just laugh, and then they go, I hate you. About a year into it, they go, this is your fault. Nope, nope, this is just what happens, and nobody tells you. So, so, so I probably won't be live for my birthday. And then Monday, I'm going out to my friend Leslie's again because we're still trying to get her dogs. Well, her husband's dog is the one. Got to get used to me because in the spring I will be out there for 2 weeks and be doing lives from out there. Because when she hits 60 before I do in the spring, they're going to go on a cruise. So somebody's got to be there to live in and take care of their cats and the dogs and the pony and the chickens. Oh, and the chickens. I wonder if ugly little bastard Jones is still alive. Okay, so I don't know what movie it is, but there's a movie where Rowan Atkinson is the vicar of this British church. I think it's a Maggie Smith and Michael Palin movie. But anyway, he baptizes a baby as ugly little bastard Jones. So that's where the joke comes from. But the last time, a couple of years ago, that thing can't possibly still be alive. I will have to ask her. One of the roosters she had, he was undersized. Feathers looked like he'd been radiation mutant. He was just only like maybe a foot high. And he was supposed to be a silky, some kind of fancy little bird. He was the most obnoxious devil bastard I have ever known. I've been around chickens when I was little because we'd go upstate and some of the family up there had chickens. They didn't bother me. I don't mind them. But he would attack anybody that walked in. Now, the roosters are in a separate, they've got their own little thing. Because she doesn't always want, a million fertilized eggs at one time. But you get what you get when you buy a batch of chicks from the feed and seed. So these suckers, most of them are fine, but him? Mm-mm. She warned me. She says he respects the bat. She had a yellow wiffle ball bat right there sitting at the edge of the coop door, this pen that you walk into for the roosters to feed them, because he's such an evil little brat. And she wasn't kidding. He came at me every freaking time. I would have to go in there and I would just use the bat to kind of push him back. But I mean, he would jump at you, claws out. And there's a reason that they would have things called cockfights, which were the roosters, because they can fight. They will fight each other. If you train them to fight, they will fight each other to the death. And they go at each other with those claws. And he was a miserable little thing. He can't possibly. I don't know. A lot of her animals tend to live a lot. Like she has a cat who's 22 years old. Sweetest. Cinnamon is the sweetest little thing. You have to wear a diaper because she's incontinent for urine. So she has to wear a diaper. You have to cut a little hole for the tail. Little preemie baby diaper. But she is an absolute darling. And other than that, in good health. She's 22. So I may be taking care of a by then 23-year-old cat. But a lot of her animals have always lived an amazingly long time. So I'm wondering about that rooster. I'll have to make sure I ask. Hey, is that little monster still alive? But I have to go out and see. Last time it was too wet, and I didn't get out to the paddock to see the horses. I know they still have the pony. I don't know if they ever have any full-size horses left, because I'll have to feed them in the spring too. But Freya, the one dog, just won't stop barking. and they're concerned about, if I'm there and they're not, they don't want her thinking she needs to defend the property. So every month I'll be going out from a Monday to a Wednesday, and then trying to get Freya to calm down. Now, the good part of this, though, is that she wants to take me. She's where I went to the 2 Goodwills, and that's where I found the little devil boy from that Bethany Lowe collection artist. And I got $50 for that. I paid $2.99. So by the time all the fees are done, I probably made somewhere between $42 and $45. And a lot of her stuff, I couldn't find anything on that one. So a lot of her stuff is like $80 to $100, but I couldn't find that one. So I figured I'd put it as an auction and just take whatever I got, because I paid $2.99. So I'm ahead. I'm happy with that. If somebody else got a deal, then they're happy too. Spread the happy. I don't mind. If it's Lisa Frank, however, I don't think I'm going to make that mistake again. But for this one, I'm okay with this. And even the Lisa Frank one, it didn't cost me anything, and really, and I made $60 on that. So, but I now know that other person's going to then flip that for 120. You collect Bethany Lowe? Oh, she has some amazing stuff. I wouldn't mind finding a black cat of hers, but I would be keeping that for me. But yeah, you'll have to look, and he's in the video. He's actually the thumbnail. There's this little boy dressed as a devil sitting down on the floor, and he's going through his candy and his little jack-o'-lanterns to the side. And I could not find that one anywhere. I could not find an image of him. I couldn't find him on her own website. She doesn't have retired pieces on her website. I could find nothing, but he had the stickers. He had on his bottom, the underneath part, and he had the little booklet with him. It just didn't have his original box. And so I just put it up as an auction to see what would happen. And so I got $50. He went for $50.99. So yeah, now I know to look out for her, though. Now I know to watch for her stuff. So once a month, though, then that means there's at least one, if not 2, big Goodwills. They are so much bigger than anything that's around me. That I will be having the chance to go pick through and maybe find some stuff, because I know certain ones of you look for certain things. I have my little list, and I'm always on the lookout for uranium glass, or some of that early 1900s glass. So we'll see. Maybe I'll find something fun. But that's why, because I'm going there, I was supposed to go there last week, but I was so sick I couldn't go. And so we had to move it to this week. Because the week before they had the week before was when I was supposed to go. They had car trouble. So then they couldn't come pick me up. And so then the following week was when Michael and I, when I got too sick to be there. So then I didn't want to go the week he was in, the week he was in California. Hi. And no, not in that box. That's the dirty box with all the grit in it. So I'll be going on Monday, which is why he told me I'm not allowed to make plans for Sunday, because he knows I'm leaving Monday and I won't come back till Wednesday morning. The Court of Honor for Scouts is that night. So yeah, her stuff is really good. Now that I know about her stuff, and it's Bethany Lowe, Lowe, for those of you who want to know who I'm talking about. So you gonna say hello, Aragorn? Oh, is this what you want? Oh, you don't want cuddles? Okay. Yep. You do want cuddles. You're purring. suck up. Total little suck up. Honestly. Yes. No, not into the box. Not into the box. Oh, stay here. There you go. When he takes a nap in the afternoon, he's a bit of a pain because he thinks that he should either sleep in my arms or that we should take a nap. Because when my back was bothering me so badly, I would take a nap and he would just come lay, and he lays on my legs. So it's like, no, you're not getting out of bed. You're just going to stay here. Say hi, Aragorn. Yeah, you don't have a collar. Yeah, I need to get you a collar. We do have a collar now on Frodo. It's way too thick. It's like that, but still need to get a collar for him. And Elrond's collar is getting a little shaky. So, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. And for those watching the replay, if there's anything you see that you absolutely are really super interested in, you can always, my email's right there. So you can always email me about it or put it in the comments. But I will have to go through and tidy some of this up. Like I said, because like some things, like this is kind of dusty. Brassiere now what are brassiere fasteners? Are these keeps garment in place, easily fastened? Woolworths. Just realized it's got Woolworths on there. Never been opened. But you can see where there's like this line of dust down there. So I'll have to carefully clean them off and see about putting them online, or to you guys. Let me know if you're interested. It's just such an oddball thing. But I could see it's a nice flat package. I could see where it'd be kind of fun to have like stuff like this as just like a collage of stuff in a shadow box in a bathroom. Could be really kind of fun. But oh well. I'm sure there's more stuff like that in this house. God only knows. So so maybe I will try to do an unboxing video tomorrow so that I can have that set to go out on Saturday. So then, Lorianne, I can do the 2 boxes that you sent me. And I haven't even opened them. I haven't looked at anything. I have not been well enough. They just our main staircase is quite wide, so sometimes we could put things against the banister side, and it's not a problem to still come up the steps. So they're just sitting on the steps waiting for me. So I will make sure I get that filmed tomorrow when there's better lighting and it's not pitch dark outside. And get that filmed so it can go out Saturday. Sunday, like I said, I don't know if I will see you on my birthday or not because I'm under orders to don't make any plans. So and then I'll be away. So Thursday night you will see me, and I don't know if it'll be a chat or an unbox or a working. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know. I don't think we're due for. I think the sale was supposed to be tonight, but that didn't happen, and that's okay. I did revamp the wish lists. I have not posted the Amazon wish list in a long time. The ones for the cats or the ones for this overstuffed house on Amazon. So those are both up. I made sure the links to the eBay and Etsy were still working. They are, though my Etsy store at the moment is on vacation mode because I just don't have anything left to put in it at the moment. So that I thought was better to just backtrack that one up for a little bit. What else was I going to tell you? The buy me a tea, the wish list for getting what I needed to do the hallway has been filled by two friends, which bless their hearts. Um, and so I have an N95 mask and an extra filter, which one of my scout parents saw from a scout from ages ago. And so he's retired, doesn't need it anymore. So I have that to help with the mold and anything from cleaning out the remaining damaged insulation that's there. So I've got all the funds I need for that. Um, the fun, the other thing on the buy me a tea wish list is still there. Um, but I'm back upright and mostly breathing. I don't feel like I should want to flip top my head. So whatever this head cold was, it is definitely on the way out. Um, I do not consistent. I don't have any. I have not had any fevers today. The last one I had was yesterday morning, but it was only 100. Now my normal body temp is 96. So the doctors always go, "No, that's not a fever." Yes, it is. When it's me, your body temperature is 96 and the thermometer says it's 100. That's 4 degrees. That's a fever. By a medical definition, that's a fever. If I were at 99 and I had 103 temperature, y'all would be flipping out. If I have 103 temperature, my butt's going to the hospital because I know how much higher than my normal body temperature that is. It's all because of the heart murmur. My body doesn't stay warm the way it should because the murmur backwashes a little bit. It's not bad enough for a surgery, but it's not perfectly healthy either, which is why my body temperature's always been slightly low. Or as Mike puts it, you just have the blood of a lizard. So I'm glad all that's taken care of. And um but I have those out there. I have the wish list, and like I said in the very beginning, I put these things out there. You are under no obligation to do anything to help with them. I am truly blessed when any of you do, and I thank you for that. I am grateful. I'm grateful that you guys still come to see me. I'm still grateful that you still come to the sales, even though I got myself into such a big hole, and I'm still digging out of that. There's some of you who have been waiting patiently for a long while, but I'm still getting there. I'm still working through it. And now that I spilled my hot chocolate on the list is definitely shorter. It's no longer 8 pages. Um, it's definitely shorter. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And y'all are with me when I've had all these setbacks. And I keep trying because that's all you can do. At the end of the day, that's all you can do is just keep trying to put one foot in front of the other and a little bit each day. I mean, I got dressed for y'all. I've been living in pajama pants and a t-shirt for over a week because I felt that crappy. But today I felt good. So you know what? You know, got a nice shirt on, button down shirt, had a little bling until that class decided to play games. So if you're having days where you just don't feel it, that's okay. But treat yourself right on days you do feel better, which is why I got the nicer shirt on after I moved all the box. I had this nice little bling on. I actually have eye makeup on. Not ready to be doing a full foundation and all that. But on days when you feel better, treat yourself. You deserve to look good. You deserve to wear the nice shirt, unless you're doing something that's going to be really dusty. But treat yourself right. You're worth it. I'm worth it. We're working hard at doing what we're doing for all of our houses. And we're getting there. Slow but sure, we're getting there. So I'm going to go. It's 1:17 in the morning. I don't have any more to drink. I don't have any cough drops left. And my voice is starting to go. I could tell because it's starting to. I've talked so much to myself and to you guys really. But it's it starts to go. which is another reason I need to get back to singing. I would have more stamina with my vocal cords if I were singing again. It is a muscle. There is some certain amount of muscle to that, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So it also means then you can't talk as much without having it get tired. So I'm going to go, and thank you all for being here and joining me for this, and we'll see what we're going to do next week, because I honestly don't know. There's still stuff I've got to take care of. Still got to write my section of the Court of Honor, because I have special awards some kids don't know they're getting, that I have to hand out at the Court of Honor. I have to write my section of the script up so I don't mess it up and forget who's getting what. Don't want to do that. So it's gonna be a busy. It's gonna be a busy weekend, a little bit. But I'm gonna be careful and not overdo it. I don't want to relapse of this cold, whatever it was. I don't need that to come back, and I don't need it to drop into the lungs. So I will see you guys Thursday, definitely. As long as I don't get sick, don't hurt myself. And we'll see what we can do. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll figure it out. So I hope you had a good time. Lorianne, you have a good night. And for those of you who don't know, Sugar Britches Sweet Ass Stuff, that is the name of her channel, and she has some amazing stuff she finds, and has sales every Thursday night usually. And she's on before me. Sometimes we overlap a little bit, but I don't mind. If I'm just doing an unboxing or a chat, by all means, stay and hang out and see her fun sales. So I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a great weekend. Watch for the unboxing of the 2 little packages I have from Lorianne. That video will go up and be live probably around 9 or 10 on Saturday morning. Good night, everybody.